Dinleyin muvahhidler, dava sizindir.
Unutmayın ki Rahman hep sizinledir.
Dinleyin muvahhidler, dava sizindir.
Unutmayın ki Rahman hep sizinledir.
Kalkıp İslam dinine ensarlar olun.
Sahte Rablere karşı dimdik doğrulun. Kalkıp İslam dinine ensarlar olun.
So hello everyone and welcome to Meet the Thumbshooters episode 5. I know it's been a long time guys since we made a video, but it's been very busy and luckily one of you had to come back. I mean, it was back in UK, so I was traveling to Thailand, so he's back and he's going out this week. So I had the pleasure to catch them both. So I've been invited to this place. So first of all, Zagar and Sahel, and they are known as Takal Brothers. Guys, you probably know them from Instagram, internet, and some great YouTube videos, which you can see the link below and give them a follow. Now guys, so can you tell me a little bit about this place? So where we are, it's a special place for you, I guess?
Yes, so this place is the Ashford and Staines Community Centre. It's a place of worship first, so it's a mosque, and then the extension where we are at now, this extension, this bit is specifically designed for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and also for archery. So the range that you see, it gives us nearly 18 meters roughly. If we move it a little bit back, we'll get about 20 meters range, which is really good for archery, indoors archery. It's the perfect range you can get, and then the whole area is matted for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. We do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu here under Nisar Sheikh. Our coach is Nisar Sheikh, under Carlson Gracie School of Jiu Jitsu basically. And archery falls under the same umbrella. So our club is called Oswa Jiu Jitsu, Carlson Gracie 302, and our archery club is called Oswa Archery. Oswa Archery. And Oswa, the name Oswa, our coach, he brought a little bit of Brazilian in it. The way they used to greet each other for Jiu-Jitsu was os, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that aspect is in it, but also Oswa is a Quranic word which specifically refers to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So which says Oswa basically means a very good example. So both in Jiu-Jitsu and in archery and in
it's good to follow good example in both sports, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
thank you very much for inviting me. We did a bit of rolling, guys. Saha, yourself, blue belt?
I am a blue belt, yeah. I've started Jiu-Jitsu just over a year ago, so a year and a few months.
That's really impressive, I must say.
And ever since I've been loving it, so I really got into it. I've even left football for Jiu-Jitsu.
Hey! Does it have archery in any aspect? Strength-wise?
Yeah, strength-wise 100%. So I'm still learning to draw heavy bows, but...
And you, Zagar, Jiu-Jitsu-wise?
So Jiu-Jitsu-wise, I started in 2015, roughly, maybe a bit before 2015, but towards the end of 2014. But then I stopped for a few months because I was getting married and everything, and the whole process was taking a bit thing. And I also got a blue eye. Black eye, sorry. Yeah.
Black eye before the wedding.
Before the wedding. And then my
so
mom
you
was
love
like,
makeup.
No. My mom was like, look, your wedding is in 3 months. You need to calm down a little bit.
Otherwise you get hit again.
I stopped and then after the wedding I stopped as well a little bit. So then officially started in 2015. So we've been doing it for a while. And then through Jiu-Jitsu, my Jiu-Jitsu coach also knew an archery coach who was also training with him Jiu-Jitsu sometimes. So he then introduced me to the archery coach. He said, whose name is Jihad Shamis. So he's my archery coach.
I get it.
He told me for the first time. I went to him. So both Jiu-Jitsu and archery, I got in touch with because of my Jiu-Jitsu coach, basically.
Great. So guys, through Jiu-Jitsu into archery, right? Yes. And you already have a brown belt. That is very, very impressive. And I must tell you guys, this guy is super strong, right? Super strong. So you got someone who really can teach you well, both archery and. Okay, so let's go back into archery. So thanks very much for inviting me. Great place. And I've never been to the place that I can roll and shoot bows, so that sounds perfect. That's really cool. Yeah. So let's start with your archery journey, guys. How did you start with archery? Who was first? Who was first with archery?
I was first.
Okay. Yeah. So tell us, how was it? Straight away thumb draw, or how was it?
So yes, straight away thumb draw. The archery I need to give you a bit of explanation because both jiu-jitsu and archery, they go hand in hand when it comes to Islamic perspective. Not jiu-jitsu specifically, but grappling. So Islamically,
grappling. I think it's
grappling,
fighting.
yes.
I think jiu-jitsu is very new, modern.
It's a modern sport.
Modern things
yes.
available from Japanese jiu-jitsu, as probably you guys know, but people as archery probably they wrestled,
Yes.
since the
Exactly,
beginning of
exactly.
times. Like the kids wrestle when they want to fight for something. They never go for punches. They go for pushing and getting on top of dominance because they don't wanna injure their friend. They just wanna overcome them, overpower them, like animals pretty much, right? Wrestling and the Greek Romans and stuff.
Wrestling and all that. Yes,
so
absolutely.
Interesting part.
So the archery. So we have 4 prophetic sports. There are more, but the 4 prophetic sports that are emphasized on when it comes to the prophetic tradition. So we have a prophetic tradition. We have the Quran that teaches us how to live our lives, and we have also the teachings of our Prophet who teaches us how to understand the Quran, but also how to conduct ourselves in our daily life. In those teachings, our Prophet has explained to us there are 4 sports that we need to emphasize on. One of them being archery, then grappling, so wrestling and grappling. If you see the Arabic writing,
Wrestle
each other, tasara, which is the Arabic, and then underneath wrestle each other. And then here another saying of the Prophet which says, "Verily strength lies in archery." So emphasized on. Then we have swimming, which is also emphasized on, and horse riding. These 4 are very heavily emphasized on because
you both swimmers.
Yes, we both
Okay,
swimmers.
so horse riders.
Yes.
Hey.
I'm doing horse riding.
Nice.
I'm not yet, but I'm gonna
I
start.
think there is a video of one of you doing some horse archery thing. Is it with Novotny?
Yes.
Okay, so we can speak about that later. Yeah.
So
when was this first time you started archery?
So,
how long ago?
Archery was in September 2017. October, September
So
2017.
5 years now.
Oh,
October, so nearly 5 years.
Nearly
Nearly 5 years.
yes.
And for yourself?
For me, I started in late 2019 for me. So I think it was 2019, yeah. So for me, it was a funny thing because I went on my honeymoon and to Indonesia, and in Indonesia, archery is huge. And I saw an archery range on the road basically, so they were just letting people shoot.
Have a go.
Yeah, have a go.
With the bow.
So I was like to my wife, I was like, "Oh, can you film me? I'm just gonna, do a quick session. I'm just gonna send it to him. Like, look,
Please, I'm doing archery. Yeah.
So when I did it, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
I think it's the first shot that takes you, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
first time you go and
You
you
see the arrow fly.
Yeah.
the arrow fly and you go, this is me. This is what I want to do.
Before that, he was inviting me. Like I can't even count how many times. Yeah,
especially you had the day. It was
and
easy
for me.
you.
For me, it was like, no, I don't want to go. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to have anything to do with archery. And then when I tried it, I was like, oh, this is quite fun. So when I came back straight away, I was like, I'll go with it on a session with you. And I actually filmed the session as well, like the first episode on my channel.
It's your first session?
Yeah, it's literally my first session. And then
So the Takal Brothers YouTube and Instagram, so this is channels run around you by yourself, right?
Yeah, I run it, yeah.
Which
and then,
you are the very common guest, I guess. You're the main one.
I just do what he tells me to.
So, guys, this is actually how I discovered, how I found you, but because I think I've seen one of your videos, YouTube or Instagram, I can't remember where it was, and then I've seen you shooting in the woods. And at the beginning I was stuck in an archery GB club, which is shooting at the target. I found it very boring, like very repetitive. And it looks really good to go to nature and shoot, and I think it's like close thing like to hunting, so I wanted to try. And then I didn't know which locations you are. And then one day I think I've seen a van with a British veteran, and I was like, what is this in UK? So I just dropped you a message, and you told me about Confidence 60, and then thanks to you, I joined the club, and I, and it helped my archery a lot. Shoot instinctive, distance judging and size of the animal.
Field archery was a completely different.
It was a different war. I came from like shooting at the faces and then straight into like wow.
Same for us.
So is it Quran plays a big part in archery? Archery plays a big part in Quran, or vice versa?
No. So
or
the way we see the Quran is the Quran is the word of God. That's what we believe. That's the unchanged word of God revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. So Quran mentions archery in some places.
yes.
Yeah, but it's not emphasize, like the Prophet himself then teaches us, this is what you need to emphasize on, and this is what you need to do. So the Quran was taught by the Prophet, not just saying it, but also teaching us what it actually means, every verse, every place of it. So it's a book of guidance, you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean just guidance in this life, it is a guidance for transition into the next life. You know, we believe the life after death, and we believe in the resurrection and the day of judgment and all that. So it gives us a guidance for both lives. This is what Quran is basically. It's not just like instructions emphasizing on a specific sport or a book of science, or no, it actually works on the psyche of the human being, making him bringing out the full potential of a human being. Basically.
So you reckon by doing archery, when you can discover these things while doing the process.
Yeah.
So you reckon like in Indonesia, so I think this is the one big thing, so when there was very little archery culture, but through Islam and connections, they kind of found it like that would, Islamic warriors were very famous for bows, like Ottoman Empire for instance, or even before Islam, Persians were very famous for it. So do you find anything that pulls you towards that direction? The heritage and all
Yes,
the...
absolutely.
Yes, okay.
That's one of the reasons we started it. I love archery, but for me personally, and I think for Sahel as well, but he can correct me if I'm wrong, but for me personally is to revive, we call it the Sunnah, which means the way of the Prophet. Revive the way of the Prophet within myself first, then within my family, and then within my friends and community, and that's how we did it in here as well. That's how we got the support of the mosque as well. They said, okay, yeah, go for it, because they understood the importance of archery in our tradition. In the Islamic tradition, archery is a very important sport, both for warfare and for sports, when it comes to sports, basically.
So now we're both archers, right? I know you both like going shooting, so I bet you love your bows, and you're really getting into this, so maybe we can show... Did you bring all of them here, or is it just
I
a few?
couldn't bring my longbow.
Okay. Well, I think given a Thumbshooter channel, let's just stick it to the Asiatic stuff for now. The U longbow, very impressive.
Yes,
very nice. Yeah. Well, maybe we have a chance to meet again, and then we can bring that in. Yes. So I have a few questions for you, which of course you ask everyone, and because there's not two of you, so I'll let you answer separately.
Sure.
And which one of you is the oldest? Okay, good. So I'm gonna let them go first. Okay. Right. So when you started archery, that was my first question. Then, okay. And now when it comes to maybe we leave the bows at the end, so then we can move around. So one of the questions I normally ask is, do you have like a favorite style of bow you like to shoot, Sagar?
My favorite style, not necessarily. I like to shoot. I spent some time with Lucas Novotny, so I was able, when he came to the clinic, do a clinic here, I was able to talk to him. He's a very good bowyer. So I said to him, what is your preferred bow style? You know what I mean? Like you've been shooting for,
which one is your favorite?
Nearly the age I was at that time, so nearly 32, I think, or 30. Yeah, 32. I was back then, and I said, you've been shooting nearly 32 years. Making bows maybe a bit less than that, but you know. So, so which style? He said Turkish Ottoman style.
Turkish Ottoman style.
Yeah, so I said, okay, I ordered a few bows with him, and I loved it. They are really short, nice, the draw curve, everything is beautiful, they're good for the way I shoot.
And also I think they suit your kind of draw length you have, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
28 inches.
29, I'm 29 and a half, and that's
just perfect. That's the sweet spot,
exactly.
So how many of them both here are Turkish Ottoman?
So I have Turkish Ottoman. I think 2 of them are Turkish, 3 of them are Turkish Ottoman, and then
shall we just see
the other one? So this one is by Lucas Navalny. So he made this one for me. This is
Lucas Navalny,
Navalny,
okay.
yes. So I asked him specifically that I could pull it to 32 inches, just in case. I wanted this to be my strength bow. Like strength bow, and then you have a competition bow. I have my competition bow, it's a different bow. This is my strength bow. I struggle to pull it at the moment, but it's 100 at 28. I have another 101 one, the Tiron slightly easier. I think that's because.
Do you have arrows for this?
Ooh, that's another thing I wanted to speak to you about as well.
Well, we can do that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a favorite style of the bow, we know this already. So
Yeah.
this is very heavy bow, guys, 128.
Yes, 128. It is beautifully decorated by the Navalny team.
I mean, to be honest, guys, the paintwork wise,
Yes.
it's very hard to beat.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful bow. I specifically asked him to write the Quranic verse, Qaba Qawsayn, not the verse, part of
Do you
the
want to
verse.
show up maybe? It's a bit closer.
So, I hope you can see it.
Yeah?
This bit. So, which technically means the length of two bows. So
The length of two bows.
yeah, it's a specific reference to when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, met Angel Gabriel, and the Angel Gabriel came to him as close as the length of two bows. And the way the Arabs understood it, it was two bows sign if you can get your bows sign. So the way the Quranic exegesis explains it, says the length of two bows doesn't mean two bows this way.
Oh, okay.
It means two bows this way.
Oh, like that.
And that's why the Qaba Qawsayn means.
So just put it to the camera. So
Yeah.
two bows like this.
Yeah. So they came as close as the length of these two.
You can see those bows very Ottoman
Yes.
bows. Right? Yeah.
That kind
You
of
want to show this at full draw?
full. You can show. You can try.
Sitting down is going to be hard though, you know?
Yeah, go on.
Can you see?
Go on. Wow.
Nice.
Yes. Perfect. Beautiful.
It's really hard to get
It's
stuff
one of my
full on
favorite bows.
But yeah,
But
I mean, if we want
I need to train
to
up
see
to
some
this.
shooting later, we can try
Yeah.
if we have heavy enough
Yeah.
arrows. Because
yeah, I have a arrow. for
Yeah,
this.
then we can try later.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So now move us straight to your
So-
favorite one.
So my
No,
favorite
it's okay.
one
I'll put it here.
is the Tatar bow, but it's a Paragon Raider bow by Rob.
So the bow is probably well known to
Yeah.
some people.
Yeah,
And
but
the-
for me, I've shot many of his heart bows, but nothing beat this bow for me. Like, it's just absolutely amazing. And I've named my bow the Desert, which is also what the archers back in the days used to do as well. They would name their bows just to have that close connection to the bow. So I've named mine Desert, so Al-Sahra.
In which culture they
This is the Arabic.
So Arabic people would call them the warriors.
So the bows of the Prophet, all of them have names.
names.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have also. I think the swords also have names.
Yeah, that is quite common
Yes.
around the
Yeah.
world to give
So the
swords
bows
to
usually
names.
have names.
Yeah.
His bows had specific names, and this is what.
Yeah, so I
What do you
just,
particularly like about this
Uh,
design or the?
I
the-
really love the design of this bow because I love the curves. First of all, it's really like it's beautiful, strong and unstrung as well. And the other thing that I love is that the fact that I can pull it to 34
You can,
inches.
you can. That's true.
So
Not many bow with this string length can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
So
With laminated bows.
yeah, and it's a nice draw as well. It
It is.
doesn't
I
stack
agree.
or anything. It just draws
It's
nicely.
a premium bow, but I think it's worth the money. I mean,
Definitely.
it's definitely worth the money.
100%.
You guys can go to episode 3 of Meet the Thumbshooter, which we have interview with
Yeah.
Robert, when he shows when he actually the bow that he was designing this on is
Yeah.
in Manchester Museum, and he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
taking
yeah.
the measurements and the shape,
Yeah.
everything.
So
So
for
it's
me,
also
this
nice
is
to have
this is
historical replica,
absolute-
right?
yeah,
Like, yeah, like yeah.
This
well,
is why
replica.
with the so I've got another bow coming hopefully next month, which is also a Tatar style. So Tatar for me is my favorite, and then after that it will be the Korean style bows.
Okay.
Because
Korean style bows.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tatar first, then to Korean style
Korean,
bows. Any
yeah.
particular reason why you like Korean bows?
I just like the way they hold it. So with the
Side forward.
index finger,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
putting it like that, and then do it like it's a different hold to what you would usually hold
Yes.
a normal bow with. So
Yeah.
that for me works really well, especially because you can actually do the
You do that.
side khatra
Yeah.
with it as well. So it's a nice design with the handle basically.
Yeah,
So-
and we have some Korean
Yeah,
bow here, but I
yeah,
think
we
that
have
is
Korean bow.
that's
Yeah,
ours,
so
yes,
that's one,
okay.
So I've got a Korean bow as well, but at the moment I left it in Thailand. So.
And, oh, okay, understandable.
So-
And you about Korean bows? You also have Korean bows?
Yes, one.
Just
of them.
one?
Yes.
So that's particularly something you...
Yeah, Korean
like
bow.
it?
I don't know. They have a special place in my heart.
Can you bring us this one, yeah? They do have, they do, or they don't?
They do.
They do, okay, yeah, can we have
I
this
can't.
one, please?
I don't know
that's
why.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, they're one of the most efficient designs of the
Yes.
bows as well, right?
I don't know why, but I love.
This one has got a birch bark decoration,
Yes,
yes?
birch
Very
bark,
nice.
horn, belly.
A horn
This is a
bow?
horn.
Oh, this is a horn bow?
But modern blues.
Okay, so
So
that's still
horn-
okay for even primitive NFAs?
No. So because it has fiberglass instead of sinew.
Ah, okay, so it's not
Fiberglass.
so it's not a composite bow?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we've got horn bow.
Not the historical composite.
Yeah.
It's still
I
composite.
think the hornbow that it has Korean design of the hornbow is the most tricky bow to string to
Yes.
operate. It's like a top.
It's
like,
a living beast. It doesn't want to shoot. Don't shoot it.
yes, but that looks very nice, and that also is very heavy poundage, right?
Yes, this one it says 95 at
31, I guess. Yeah.
but it's not.
Ah, it's not.
This one is 95 at 29 and 106 at 31.
I found it quite regular that Koreans get that measurement
Yeah.
wrong. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Maybe they just, I don't know.
No, but I also think maybe Korea is a little bit warmer than UK.
Not necessarily.
No?
I think the Seoul and it's
Because
kind
of
of
the
line
warm-
of Japan. Oh, maybe. Yeah,
Because
maybe,
of the
of
warm-
course. Changing the climate
Yes.
saves the poundage in different
Yes.
climates. Yes,
That's
it does.
what
Even
I
with
thought.
hybrid bows,
Yeah.
which this is a hybrid because
Yes,
it has
yeah.
fiberglass
Yeah.
instead of sinew.
So it gets stiffer than
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's
Okay, let's move on to arrows because probably we can talk about bows all the time. So, guys, carbon or wood? Shall we go with Sahel now first?
Yeah.
Carbon or wood? What's your preferred
so-
choice?
I love wooden arrows, but I shoot carbon arrows simply because when I started shooting wooden arrows in the company of 60, I've literally broke every single arrow. So I've hit a few trees on the way. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick to carbon arrows. But if I could afford and shoot
I had
wooden
someone
arrows,
making them
I would
every
really-
morning
yeah,
for you.
I would go with wooden arrows all the time. Like I would.
So it's more of a, you prefer the feel of wood, but
I-
economical reason tell you
Yeah,
that
I
carbon
also
is-
prefer the challenge that wooden arrows give you.
They
Like
do.
every arrow is different.
They don't fly the same.
Yeah, they don't fly the same. So it's a real nice feeling to you know, especially when you hit your target with the wooden arrow. It feels nice, you know, and then getting to know your arrows and not breaking them.
And that's
is
like how
nice.
people used to shoot them as well, right?
Yeah.
And for yourself, Jacek?
So for me, I don't really mind actually. If I want to do fully historical, you being correct and everything, you know, you need to get your primitive bow, primitive arrows, which is wooden arrows, no nothing more than that.
Yes.
But if I want to have pure fun, you know, like have primitive bow carbon arrows for me is the best. I think that you can get the best out of it. Gets the
How
best
do
FOC.
you overcome the problem with carbon and weight? When you shoot those heavy poundages, you might have the to reach minimum GPPs, you know, the carbon.
So-
How do you overcome yourself?
Yeah, so one thing, and that's why I said I need to talk about
Okay,
carbon.
okay. So we
So one thing I did, I took a very thick arrow. So thick meaning in the diameter. So 9.3 is the maximum you
Yeah.
can get. 9.3. That gives you a nice space inside the arrow that you can fill with anything to get the weight of
Weight
the
in,
arrow.
yes.
Yeah. So that's the main problem with the wooden with the carbon arrows. They are super light.
Yes,
You know, you can get them super stiff.
but they're gonna be super light.
Super light, and shooting a heavy bow with super light arrows,
It's dangerous for
Yes.
the bow, right?
you'll explode the bow or whatever. Yeah? So to overcome that, what I used to do, I used to get very thin aluminium arrows, the thinnest I can get, then put them inside another aluminium arrow that was the next level up, so they could fit inside one another.
Yes.
Then glue that one into the carbon arrow and get the weight. So that way you have a carbon composite aluminium arrow.
Yeah, I mean, probably we can talk about this for another
Yeah.
15 minutes. If you want to do a little episode afterwards, we can finish the interview and then we can do
Yeah.
bonus feature on arrows because I had the same problem as you know, but it's a long topic. I've pretty much tried everything,
Yeah.
and then of course wood it's the best solution.
Yes.
It's very dense, it can get
Yeah.
heavy. So let's move on. So we know where you're coming from. To a few funny, we use carbon, but you have big interest in being traditional and the whole aspects of it, and of course, okay, perfect, great. So we know your arrows, we know your favorite bows, and now we're gonna go on to something that I might surprise you. So now, who wants to go first on this one? Okay, so if you can meet tomorrow for dinner any archer in the world, who would that be?
Do you want to go first? Shall I go first?
It has to be tomorrow, so you have to choose now, and you can meet anyone.
So for us, like the religion plays a big role with archery. So we look at the companions of our Prophet. I mean, if we could choose, I would love to meet the Prophet, and that would be amazing. But one companion that really stood out for me was Sa'd ibn Waqas.
Okay.
And he's considered the best archer
In the history,
in the
right?
history
Yeah,
of,
okay. And if that would be a living person, alive now, do you have someone would you like to meet?
alive.
Yeah.
I'm not sure a live person who I would meet. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos of a lot of archers, and I love every single one because I'm learning from every single one.
So anyone would you like to meet and learn from?
So one person that really stood out for me was probably Justin Ma, because I love the technical aspect of how he explains on how to draw, how to, the stance, and because
very scientific way of showing.
Yeah, and it really helps you develop with your.
Yeah, I think his work on a book, it helps any archer in the world.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what style you do, you can even be 3-finger or whatever.
Yeah.
It helps everyone.
So,
Okay, and Zagat yourself in terms of.
So historically, obviously, the Prophet for me, absolutely, because he's the ocean of knowledge. When it comes to worldly knowledge, hereafter, everything. So for me, that's the ultimate person I would like to meet. But a living person, anyone who has a lot of knowledge of archery, so it could be Justin Murat Osviri.
But it has to be one person. That's why I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't mind learning from anyone. I don't mind. So
would be Murat closer to your because of his research into. Yeah, okay, you would say Murat? Yeah, I have to steer him in that direction because he would like to meet all of them on one table. That'd be nice, right? Yeah, okay. So another one, tricky one. Okay, so now I think I know what you're going to say, but I'll say it anyway. Okay. If you have a chance to travel back in time and travel with like an archery group of people back in the day, where would you go?
So for me, it would be the first battle of the Muslims. It's called Battle of Badr. And I would love, because those people or those companions that have participated in that battle are considered the best of the best. Basically.
Archers?
Not just archers, but in terms of belief as well.
So like 5th century? Is it with
I don't know, I think so. I can answer that question.
So that was
unless he wants to travel to the same place.
So I think for both of us, it's the same. The best archer for us, in our tradition, Prophet Muhammad was the best archer. No one can defeat that. But after the Prophet, it was Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, because it was specifically said that he could not miss.
Yeah.
It was impossible for him to miss.
So every arrow was a hit.
Every arrow was a hit.
Okay, so you both like to go back to the same time and place, like so Arabic Peninsula around 5th century, I guess, 6th century. Yeah. Okay. So would you know what sort of bows people would use at that time? If you have done historical research, is there any ones?
Yes. So at that time they used to use. So if you read the book Arab Archery, they explain that there are 3 different types of bows that the Arabs used to use. They were the composite bow, the way we know it. So like a primitive form of like the. Not Turkish, but like.
They must be much more primitive. Yeah,
primitive
5th century. Yeah.
So they used horn sinew and.
Probably closer, probably to Seljuk design with the big ear, probably. Yeah.
So that is one style of Arabian bow. Then you have the one that was a one-piece bow backed by sinew. Okay. And then you had a one-piece bow that was just like a longbow type of thing, So they use those. So the Arab archery explains these 3 different types.
And all of thumb drawing.
That's the thing.
We don't know.
We don't know. Most likely they were using thumb draw because that was the closest. I mean, everyone in that region was
Yeah,
using.
I mean the Persians used it,
Yeah.
and it was recorded Persian rings.
Yes.
The Romans,
So most likely.
the Romans used it as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean the Roman army, if we can get another episode of this, they had, of course, the empire was huge, so they
Yeah,
conquered
yeah.
different nations, and
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
nations were famous for archery, but as a Roman, even they might use composite bows,
Right.
we don't know what type of release they have,
Right.
or the bows they found even in England, they didn't have any thumb rings with them in the thumb,
Yeah.
but it could be, some materials that could deteriorate, we don't know. But
Yeah.
So okay, so we know that is the main way of travel back in time for you. Okay, good. And also I want to congratulate you guys on the scene, because I think you also promote in Asiatic archery very well, and I think many people know you. And
Yeah.
Zagard taken a medal at the recent nationals, so the 3Ds. That's
Yeah.
very impressive,
Yeah.
So I think you're doing a good job of promoting and I think
Me as well, but
I mean the great thing is that if you can reach out to Muslim communities and bring people to archery, I think they find the way into self-development, and
Yeah, absolutely.
connection with the history,
Yeah.
with the equipment that people used to use, because I believe the Asiatic style is pretty much the same way people train like we train now. So it's like you said, wrestling, that these people did this, and with the age of modern technology, things you can do is go back to people, so you're doing a really good job. So are we going to see you ever on a horse?
Me, I'm definitely, but one of the things.
Taking up
I've
horse riding.
horse riding a little bit. So I'm continue. I started last summer. I'm going to continue this summer. Towards July, I'll start taking up some lessons again, and then slowly. There is a club near Cloth of Gold. I don't know if you've been to Cloth of Gold, that field archery. There is a horse archery club just next to it.
Okay.
So maybe
Because I guess historically that takes a big part for Asiatic shooting, like the shooting of the horse.
That is our main goal.
Okay, that's your main goal.
In archery.
Main
to
top.
go to
Which- Okay.
to go
To combine
to
these two
eventually,
Yes, of course,
horse riding and everything. But you mentioned the aspect of self-development in archery, and I think a lot of people, archery is one of the I don't know about other sports. I've done football and several other sports, but not. I didn't find it to be as self-developing as archery, because it doesn't just develop your strength-wise, physicality and everything, but also your mind. You're so focused on the goal, on the target. You know what I mean? Like in life, we have many goals, many targets, and
But other sports you don't control everything. Like you do jiu-jitsu, football, there are other people, and in archery, it's only you against you.
Exactly.
You're not gonna blame. You're not gonna blame.
That's why it's been such a cool principle in many different cultures, especially Asiatic cultures.
Oh, even in Chinese, Confucius,
Yes.
self-development,
Exactly.
and looking at you. There is a
Japanese
Chinese saying, I think, saying you can see the man's soul by looking the way he shoots the bow, or something like this. So there is definitely that connection.
So it develops the intelligence quite a lot of a human being. And I was speaking to Safaraz regarding this, and we go into this quite a lot, into both the spiritual aspect of archery, but also the self-development aspect of archery. And as you said, you can see quite a lot of the mental state of a person by him shooting a bow.
Yeah.
Is he shaking? When he's,
Or maybe overthinking.
Overthinking
Or like target
everything.
hand. You can
Exactly,
fix those
exactly.
things. And I think like martial arts, like jiu-jitsu, that gives you better platform in life to carry on. Like
exactly.
you know how to overcome stressful situations, you know how to because it's a long process. So you have to, embrace it and put hours in it. It's like it's worth the reward at the end.
Yeah.
As long as you're having fun, but it's hard to find good people to do it with. So you guys having this cup is really cool, and hopefully we can see you guys shooting here more often. So maybe we should see some more bows. I think you got something really, really, really beautiful that I want everybody to see. Romeo, can we get the blue bow, please? You tell us more about this. So this is your horn bow.
This is the fully composite horn bow, yeah. So it's sinew wood horn, and covered with leather. So this is historically.
That is very short. Straight away, first thing you see
very
is
short.
very short.
This is.
But it would be very historically proportioned, right?
Yes, exactly. This is exactly how the horn bows used to be. The Ottoman horn bows. This is
So this is style of like a Turkish war bow, really, right?
Yes,
It's not
Turkish
the
war
flight bow, it's the proper,
war bow.
it's a
Yeah.
proper machine.
Yes. So this one is made by Lucas Novotny. Sally, if you help me with this.
Yeah, let's get the string. I'm gonna make sure you both guys in there. Like
Yeah. So if you hold it underneath my. Yes. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-man job.
Two-man job.
Do you guys want any water? I know it's very warm.
No, I'm
No, you
good.
should.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Because we sit in here.
Yes,
Yeah.
You can feel
It's
how
like a little sauna.
Yeah, it is. I had very hard time doing this here. Like.
So you saw a picture of this and you said that this was asymmetrical, and I was like,
No, I didn't ask if it was symmetrical. I know it's like it looked a bit unbalanced. You know, when you have to balance it sometimes in the knee. I think maybe it was the angle of the camera.
but it is an asymmetric bow. I looked back into the videos of Lucas Novotny explaining this, how to string it, how to take care of it and everything. So he did a video for me. And
what sort of bandage we looking at here?
so this one is 88 at 28.
And how long you had it for?
95. Huh?
How long you had it for?
I've had it for since it says 2021.
You can have wooden arrows and shoot with a primitive, right?
Yes.
Yes.
With this one you can, because I have also an email. So with
Certification. that
yes,
is
certification that this is completely
made.
primitive.
How is it to shoot?
It shoots really fast. Compared to
Okay.
my other bows, this one is very fast.
How light on the arrows you can go with this?
So around
What is
700 grain I went with this.
Okay. So it's still
700.
still quite heavy for the
Yeah.
88. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about 9 point something grain. I
Yeah,
think,
9,
or
9, yeah.
something like that. So it goes. You can't pull this straight away, obviously, into.
If you can show it sideways,
Infinity.
it looks already really cool. I mean, the bending section is really.
Yeah. So you start warming up the bow. Really
You see,
need to warm it up.
it can warm up by itself. First, it's 50 degrees in here.
Hold it against the.
Yeah. Once it's straight. So this is where I went. The lower limb is slightly stronger. So
Yes.
yeah, and the upper limb is a bit weaker.
Yeah.
This was historically.
Yeah, I know. They didn't have
Yeah.
network tiller. The
Yeah.
tiller was different on
Yes.
the top limb. Yeah.
So that's how it's made. So that's why it looks a little bit, especially if you go upside down.
Yeah.
Now it looks,
Beautiful. It was a long time also to build them, right?
This one took 2 years to build.
2 years to build.
2 years to build on top.
So you reached that stage in your archery development where you decided I need a
Yes.
proper
You
bow
this
now.
should not be your first bow.
Exactly.
Never should this be your first bow, because one, a beginner archer is not going to be able to take care of this, because horn bows, they tend to, because of the natural materials, they are not always 100% straight. You have the carbon and you have the fiberglass and all that.
they always the
Learn,
same. You can
yeah.
string them, this stringer,
Yes.
leave them.
Yeah.
These ones
Winter,
are-
summer, unless it's like not very humid climate, these are okay.
Yeah.
But with this, you can have really different bandage in the winter than you
Yes,
have in the
yes,
summer,
yes,
right?
yeah. So absolutely, yeah. So this one is, I don't even shoot it in the winter. I don't even touch it. I just leave it.
It must
As
be
I say,
very
it's like a
stiff.
little thing. You know what I mean?
It's a
Like,
little
if it doesn't
thing.
want to shoot,
Yes.
he's not going to shoot it, because it's going to be out of tiller, out of everything. So yeah, you can hold it if you want. But yeah, that should never be your first bow. That bow should be your
Impressive.
after
Sure,
4, 5,
really
6 years.
moved out from the. It's just impressive how tiny it is, and I
Yeah.
think this is one thing when you get to laminated bows, you can't really create this shape and that flex with modern materials. It's just too much. Unless they're going to be like poundage, then too much stress on there. But it looks
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. I really like it actually. It's really toned down and not as decorative as like the other one, but
It's nice.
I like the blue and red
Yeah.
combination. Awesome, right. So guys, I think it's we should start doing some shooting.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay. All right. I wanted to thanks very much for coming in. Right? Great place. Had a great time rolling, and now we're gonna do some shooting, and hopefully, as we got more to talk about, we can record a bonus video on the arrows, so we can maybe help other people who are having the same problem.
Yeah.
Because I know how much time I spend
Yeah,
experimenting and money and time, on. Basically have affordable arrows to shoot,
Yes.
because as you said, the wood is great, but every mistake, it's gone. You can't fix it.
You can't fix it.
It's gone. It's gone. And the amount of time I spent building wooden arrows, it was just very hard. And then you go out shooting them, and you go.
And your heart breaks.
Maybe this one I'm going to shoot with carbon. No, that tree is right there. That tree is looking at me. You know what that tree wants to do? He wants me to touch it with my arrow. And this is actually another fascinating thing about archery. How human brain can really focus on things in the woods. Like, you see that tree, and all your brain will do, think about that tree. The arrow will hit that tree, because you don't want, you need to concentrate. Exactly, you need to concentrate. There is no tree. There is the target, because if your arrow flies straight, there is a path for the arrow to go.
In field archery, when I first started, I was doing one of the open shoots, and one very experienced archer, he came to me, he goes, look, he was in my group, he goes, can I give you some advice? I was like, yeah. Because I was shooting and my carbon arrow was going bam, bam, bam, bam, bam. Between the arrow, this tree,
that sounds so familiar.
And so he said to me, look, just focus, think that there is no trees. Have you done target archery? I said, yeah. He goes, just think that there is no trees, this is target archery. I've never hit a tree after that.
Nice.
After that advice, I've never hit a tree.
Give him a shout out.
It's a Terry from Fleet Islands.
There you go.
Yeah.
Terry, thanks very much for fixing that aspect.
Just
Okay,
simple.
one more time guys, thanks very much. We'll see you in the next episode. It was a pleasure. So have a safe trip back to Thailand.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to some more videos shooting around the chickens and stuff. They're really my best videos, guys. You go 3D and the target in the same time, right? Live 3D chicken and stuff. Geese and chicken. Okay, and I hope to see you again on the mats. Maybe we'll do some more rolling and shooting afterwards. Right, thank you very much. Bruce.
Dinleyin muvahhidler, dava sizindir.
One challenge. Okay, so let me just talk us through. Talk us through.
This is what we do.
What we do.
We don't do this all the time, but
Oh, go on.
since there's a bottle and no one claimed it.
Yeah. Okay.
Go after jiu-jitsu. Okay. 10 points if you hit the cup.
Yeah.
The cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cap, the blue bit.
Yeah.
5 points if you hit the thing. 3 arrows. If you hit the
3 arrows. Okay.
3 arrows.
3 arrows.
Captain.
Captain. Wait for me.
Just scared it a little bit.
Nice. 5 points.
5.
But I aim for the cup.
I aim for the cap as well. Maybe it's a good strategy to go for the bottle itself.
That was really for the cup.
All of us on 5.
Okay, so this is deciding shot, yeah?
I think
Yeah,
I'm
this
on
is
5.
Deciding shot. Okay, so goes out. I just grazed it! Okay, well if I do it then... What did it happen? Okay, let's have a look. What we got there.
Look at this, mine just pushed it together.
Well, let's just settle off 5 points each. You know, very politically.
Nah, Sarab doesn't get points.
I don't get any points here.
Okay,
so it's the other side.
okay, nice one. Anyway, good shooting. Thanks very much.
Unutmayın ki Rahman hep sizinledir.
Dinleyin muvahhidler, dava sizindir.
Unutmayın ki Rahman hep sizinledir.
Kalkıp İslam dinine ensarlar olun.
Sahte Rablere karşı dimdik doğrulun.